strong battleship, I guess. As we have both teams now entering the field, I can throw it to your casters so you guys can, and we can actually put up the things on screen so we can just discuss a little bit of what is going on and what we can expect and things to look out for.
Thanks, Elise. So Ithaca Hawk here, joined by Lysis for this match. Let me just go through the Brothers in Arms setup that they've got here. So they've got a Rattlesnake, Scimitar, Navy Drake, Dual Serb, Dual Blackbird, Bellicose, Caracal, and Nemesis. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see one of their infamous Tinkers. They're going for a more classic setup in this case. Lysis, why don't you tell us all about what Best Intentions have brought?
Yeah, Best Intentions, bringing out a Armageddon Dami combo, followed by a Myrmidon, Ishtar, Vexer Navy, Vexer, Oneros for their Logi, Magus, we got a Command Destroyer coming into, and double Punisher for that really strong tanky frigate that could provide some control in this match.
Yeah, it looks like they just decided they don't really like duplicate ships and wanted to bring a little bit of everything. And then they got down to the last 4 points and thought, you know what, let's just bring some Punishers. Doesn't seem like the most coherent comp, although it is definitely going to be a whole bunch of drone spam here.
How do you cloak?
So you can't. So you have to go Lottie Bro. Technical difficulties there from one of our other casters, Reload. It's worth noting, by the way, that the blue team here has 6 points remaining that they have not brought. What do you guys think about that?
Jin, I think you also may have technical difficulties. I think you need to refresh your tool because it seems to me that they have both 100-point teams.
Oh dear.
Technical difficulties galore here in
It's a
Space on
disaster.
Thunderdome. But we are getting ready to start the match. It's only a couple of minutes away. So, in the meantime, Lysis, what do you think? What do you think about the ranges these teams have brought their ships in?
Yeah, so the range, I'll just for Bad Intentions right now. Their range is staggered with their high DPS and control ships up front. So you got the Armageddon. It's an amazing bonus to its newt range, which will provide a ton of control. And I feel since this is the feeder rounds and flagships are not allowed, that the Armageddon actually plays a bigger role than a Balgorn, just because of that newt range bonus. You're not, instead of a Balgorn where you'll get that huge web bonus, but those newts being out there and not having to be like an officer fit is amazing. You got the Dominic's followed by next to it, which I'm sure has some control in itself. That also provides, let's see if I can't. Looks like he doesn't have any blasts, so that could. So he probably has newts himself with drone damage. So that's falling into the drone meta. And then behind them is the rest of their drone core, which is another strong amount of ships. Looks like the Magus has no gun, so he's going to be providing another extra set of links and be a support ship himself. And those Punishers there. Now, the reason why the Punishers there, yes, because they only have little points left, but there's another reason. Sometimes, and this is the perfect comp to do it against, where they need it, the drones have trouble keeping up with their target, especially trying to go against shield targets. So ships like the Serb, Caracal, where they could actually move very fast, even the Scimitar, sometimes you need to get that tackle for the drones to actually apply all of their DPS, hold the target long enough for them to really get on there and have no trouble hitting. Because drones do miss. We all know how drones interact sometimes, and it's never in the best way you want it to be. So those Punishers are actually very important ships in this comp. They also could be used as either as a defensive posture, depending on how Brothers in Arms comes at them, or be used very offensively to tackle ships to allow the drones to catch up and bring in the damage.
Yeah, it looks like maybe initially we'll see them play a more defensive role as they have chose to bring those Punishers in at 50 kilometers with most of their drone core as opposed to forward with the Armageddon. And the countdown has started in local, so this match will be underway in about 10 seconds. So we'll probably see just a massive cloud of drones pop out from the red side, and then when we'll see what we'll for in the first primary.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of missile DPS coming from the Brothers in Arms Alliance team. And watch out for this Linchpin Blackbird. That is a shield Blackbird. So It's not, as we've seen armor Blackbirds coming with armor comps. This being a shield Blackbird, so it has to give up some of its jam strength jewels in the mid slots for some tank. So it might not be the strongest Blackbird you would normally see in a armor comp.
Yeah, it looks like Brothers in Arms immediately choosing to primary that Armageddon, who is taking a lot of damage and still no reps received, as the Nearest does appear to be jammed as well. Probably a very good choice to get that Armageddon off the field, as you mentioned, the Newts could be very, very powerful in this particular comp. And he is starting to receive reps now as the jams fail on the Nearest. But is he going to be able to catch him and bring him back up? He is hitting very, very low armor at this point. So you just need to just overheat all the reps. And if they lose this Armageddon this early in the match, this could be a huge blow to the chances that they survive the rest of this match.
And there are some Logi bots now on the Armageddon, and this is one thing with drone comps where you're giving up Logi drones to help the tankiness of your composition in favor for damage drones, which are in a sense delayed DPS because the drones do have to travel. So it's a give or take here. It's a dance with these drones, and you see there's just drones split up everywhere. Which is looks like a very suboptimal use of drones, but looks like they are switching targets.
Yeah, that Armageddon has been saved, Jed, in the Nearest there. He has bled a little bit of hull, but he's now up to full armor again as the Scimitar of Zulfi in the Brothers in Arms is hard tackled and taking huge amounts of damage now. You can see his ASB charges going off, but he just got volleyed from half armor into about 5% structure, and he is down. So the first ship to go down in this match is the Scimitar of Brothers in Arms Alliance. Losing their logistics is going to make this a lot tougher. That Armageddon is back up to essentially full armor again, so he is not concerned, although they are shooting him again.
And that whole thing was done by 6 in a Punisher. Dexter has stayed back in defensive posture, but 6 has gone in. He's become the aggressor and was able to tackle the Scimitar to slow it down, allowing the drones to apply full DPS. And that's what I mean. Sometimes you need that very linchpin tackle ship. And Punishers, the tankiest T1 frigate you can find in the game, they are ridiculously buffer tank. So they are able to go in hard and get these tackles, which is so important for these drones to catch up. And as I say that, the Armageddon, such an important ship with those long-range newts, has fallen.
Exactly. I think the high DPS coming from the Nemesis of Pi J was just a little bit too much there for the Nearest to handle on that Geddon, and he is down. The Punisher of 6 now being primary does they need to just clear off the tackle. At the moment, he's tackling the Caracal of Alicia, and that's not what you want. You don't want a Punisher tackling your Caracal, as he's just going to start taking a whole bunch of damage now. He's into armor, volleyed into structure, and he will be down momentarily.
Oh yeah, so Dexter is now taking an aggressive role, and 6 has let go of the Caracal because he got a bit too far away from the Logi shield. He's decided to let that tackle go back into Logi ret range so he could get full optimal Logi, and Dexter is taking the aggressive role. 6 is just way too far out. He just wasn't able to make it back in time, so that is a crucial Punisher. And Dexter is the only big tackle that they really got left, unless the Dami itself has tackle, and Dami is right in the fray. He's right next to a bunch of the Brothers in Arms core, and the Magus has gone down for best intentions. So that's some links are down in their side.
Yeah, losing those links right now could be really critical for them. Without the links, then the Dominix is going to be significantly weaker without the boost to resistances and so on that I'm assuming that they're running. So as we say that, another ship went down. I think it was a Cerberus just died from the Brothers in Arms Alliance. And now another Cerberus taking huge amounts of damage. The Dominix is about half armor, but he does seem to be holding, as since they've removed a Caracal, a Cerberus, another Cerberus, and a Nemesis now, the damage is just trailing off from the Brothers in Arms side, meaning that Dominix is probably going to survive now under the Oneros reps, even without links.
Yeah, and I believe I saw some newts coming out of the Dami. So the Dami is in a very utility kind of role with its high slots, and of course, it getting that bonus to its drone. So that's really it's going to be its main DPS ability there. So yeah, it is neuting. It's currently neuting the Blackbird of Dutch, which is probably a problem they've been having. So their drone blob is following that bird. That Blackbird needs to stay alive, but there is no Logi on the Brothers in Arms team. He's gonna go down. He's instructor and gone.
Yeah, losing that Blackbird is quite important because that's some of the few bits of control that they kind of have left in this comp. Like with the Blackbirds, they were probably still able to jam out a lot of the DPS coming from Best Intentions side. But but losing them, they're just going to get full damage coming from Myrmidon, Dominix, Ishtar, Vexor Navy, Vexor. That is just a huge amount of damage. And if you've got no logistics, then there's not really much you can do against that, especially as they're starting to shoot the nearest. But I think it's just too little too late, as they're just not going to be able to break it in time.
Yeah, there's not really enough DPS. I mean, if they kill the Neros, alright, whatever. All you got left is a Bellicose, a Rouse. Bellicose for control. You got the Drake Navy, which has an amazing tank, but its DPS is so low. And then you got the Rattlesnake, which is really the big DPS here. That's the only ship left alive. And you got the Soneros, which might go down, but you also got a huge core of Dami damage. You got Merm damage and links coming from the Merm. You got an Ishtar still to go, a Vexor Navy, and a Vexor still to go. And you still got the Punisher of Dexter going down. And as we say, that has gone down, but the Rattlesnake has dipped into armor. He's not going to be living much longer. He is tackled. The full flight of drones are all over this Rattlesnake.
Yeah, there is still some shield bots for the Brothers in Arms Alliance. It's not going to be enough to rip out the damage coming from all the DPS ships on Best Intention side. As we say that, he drops into very low structure. He is getting a little bit of shield coming from those bots, but he's going to go down very soon. Those bots will probably be coming from the Drake Navy there, and he goes down. So this is it, pretty much. All they have to do is lock down that Navy Drake, remove the last bit of damage from the field, and that'll be a good solid win for Best Intentions.
Oh yeah, and Dexter's still being attacked by this Bellicose, you know, out of probably just moral victory. And Drake Navy's gone down. Marantz and the Bellicose, the only thing alive. And like I said, guys, these Punishers was such a huge factor in these matches. Getting that fast semi-tackle. One stayed back as a reserve. 6 went in, got the tackle, got his job done, survived enough for the scimitar goal, and then still went around and plagued the rest of the team. And Dexter came in to follow up with being aggressive. So great flying from Best Intentions. Well done to them. Great use of their tackling. Allowed their drones to catch up and really bring on the damage.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they chose to ban out the Daredevil and then took the Punisher in this particular comp, because they could have taken 2 Daredevils instead, as they're reduced and it would have cost them 2 points. And as we say that, the last Blackbird goes down. Brothers in Arms Alliance, that is it for them in this Alliance tournament. And we will hand back to Elise in the studio.